Hi everyone, I'm coming to you today from the dog park with my grandpuppy Sumo. I don't know if you can see him over there. He's over there doing doggy things. I just wanted to talk to you today, this beautiful Friday, about stress, trauma response, and PTSD. When I think there's a little bit, with some people, a little misconception about PTSD, and there seems to be like still some I don't want to say disagreement, but definitely an evolving definition with the medical community about what PTSD is, and in some circles they're actually using the term trauma response instead of PTSD, because they're finding that the biological traumatic response that we have isn't a disorder. It is really how our bodies are designed to respond to danger or to perceived danger. And I think the difference now is, with our modern lifestyle, we really don't burn it off the way we used to. So, to give a little bit of a history, or a little bit of a lesson of what the trauma response is. Basically, we have our autonomic nervous system, and when we are in danger, which for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, that danger was usually a predator, our sympathetic nervous system portion of our autonomic nervous system would kick in, and that is what controls our fight or flight or freeze response. And that would kick in whenever we felt we were in danger. Well, fast forward to modern times where we are sitting at desks and we're not in danger of being chased by a bear or fire or something like that. Our dangers are, not performing properly at work and getting fired. So when we have that perceived danger, we don't run it off. We don't burn it off. We don't fight it off. And all those chemicals that have built in our body, the biological, responses to that danger, aren't burned off. They just build up. And if it's day in and day out that you're constantly worried or stressed over your performance at work, or over, in some cases of domestic abuse, of how your partner is going to respond to whatever you do, or if you're, constantly in traffic and you're worried about getting hurt or getting into an accident, you are sitting still and not burning that off. And after time, it builds up and builds up. And that's where we get trauma response. Now, if it's a large enough event that is causing us stress, or let's say you have a lot of other things that are building up, and it kind of, I don't want to say breaks the system, but kind of causes the system to stay kind of stuck in that loop of going into trauma response, to going into fight and flight and freeze faster and more often, then it's kind of a conditioning or a habituated action that your body does. So what has happened is your neural network, your amygdala, has grown to respond faster to perceived threats. And when that happens, the neural networks are all going in that direction and not to your prefrontal cortex. So what is happening is you are firing faster, you're triggered easier, and you're not able to think through the event logically like you normally would. So that is where people are like, somebody is drama queen, or whatever horrible label they want to throw out there. Really, it's just conditioned trauma response. And one of the things that trauma coaches like myself do is we help you get into the other cycle of the autonomic nervous system, which is the parasympathetic, which is your calming, healing, relaxed mode, by doing drills, just like any other coach, like a football coach, or for my case, lacrosse coach, or whatever your coach was, would make you run drills until you had muscle memory. It's the same thing with a trauma coach, only we teach mindfulness. We help teach you how to engage the parasympathetic system and override that habituated sympathetic response, or that trauma response. So over time, it might start with something as simple as a 5-5-5 breath. So basically what a 5-5-5 breath is, you breathe in for the count of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to hold it for 5. Breathe out. So it's a full exhale for 5. And hold it for 5. And do it 5 times. When you do that at set times every day, I usually recommend doing it. I'm sorry, I'm like, have the camera all over the place. I usually recommended doing it at mealtime, because so that way you get used to doing it throughout the day. And that way, once your body is used to doing that deep breathing, when you are triggered, it's easier for you to get into that deep breathing and to remember to do it. If you only try to do it when you are triggered, you're going to forget. So usually the first thing I recommend to my clients is to do the deep breathing. And sometimes 5-5-5 for 5 is too much. Like if you are at lung capacity or you're not used to it. So just start off with 2, then build up to 3-3-3, 3, 4-4, and you get the picture. So you just build up to slow your breath down. And when you do that, when you slow your breathing down, you're engaging your parasympathetic nervous system and you're healing. So there's my quick tip and a little explanation of PTSD, trauma response, and stress, and how it affects your nervous system and how you can begin to heal it. So I hope this helped you today on this Friday, and maybe explained a little bit more about what trauma coaching is, and what we do to help you recover and heal quickly. It's a relatively quick process, depending on how deep the trauma response is, and how long it's been going on. But it's usually usually you can get really rapid results within 6 months to a year. You will be fairly close to back to how you were before. And usually the entire process might take 2 years until you feel like you can engage in normal activity, and you're back to normal and even stronger. And usually that's what we call post-traumatic growth, where not only are you back to normal, you're actually stronger than you were before the events. So if you want to learn more about trauma coaching, or more on how to get relaxed and be mindful, feel free to DM me or hit me up through my website. I love to talk about this subject, and thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye.